Hey, I hope you guys are doing good today. We are going to be watching True Animal Facts Awards. This is from a couple years ago, but this is from ZeFrank, and I thought this could kind of be fun to watch and see what's on this list. It says best sports jumping and more, so I feel like it's going to be pretty funny. If you do get a chance, I'd appreciate if you can leave a like and subscribe. It helps me out a bunch, and I will have ZeFrank's video linked in my description below, so be sure to go in, subscribe to him, like his videos, all that good stuff. He does such an amazing job. But all right, let's see who's gonna get what awards here.
This episode sponsored by Hunt a Killer. Welcome to the True Facts Animal Awards, celebrating animals with awards.
I love the celebrating animals with awards.
Animal Awards, celebrating animals with awards. Jerry, that didn't add gravitas.
It's so cute.
Whatever. In the category of best worst jumping, there were quite a few entries. I mean, come on, it's not rocket science to be awesome at being terrible at jumping. In fact, rocket science would really screw you in this category. A notable entry was the globular springtail. It's a great launch, looks quite acrobatic, all tucked in like that, full rotations. And then he takes it right on the face.
Base plans, damn, all that just to fail the landing. Oof.
In like that, full rotations. And then he takes it right on the face.
Donk.
Look at him sliding away. Keep cool, they'll think it's on purpose. But if you want to win this category, you have to go up against frogs in the genus Brachycephalus. Look at it, it's not dead.
Oh
I mean, these guys are famous for bad jumping. They're
Why is it so stiff? Like it it's not even ragdolling, it's just stiff. It doesn't even look like it looks like it has like rigor mortis.
It's Brachycephalus. Look at it, it's not dead. I mean, these guys are famous for bad jumping. They're not happy about it. You know, some of them have glow-in-the-dark bones. Why not be famous for that? But the deal with Brachycephalus is that they really went all in on the miniaturization thing. They're f***ing tiny. Some of the smallest vertebrates on Earth. So bravo. But to get that
They're kind of cute though. They look a little grumpy. I do appreciate stuff that's small, cute, and grumpy looking.
They're f***ing tiny. Some of the smallest vertebrates on Earth. So bravo. But to get that small, there's sacrifices. They lost some toes and fingers along the way. There's a couple species that seem to have lost the ability to hear their own mating calls, which is a bit poetically heartbreaking. I mean, the deal is that some...
How do you lose the ability to lose your own mating call? Oh no. These things are on the struggle bus.
Hear their own mating calls, which is a bit poetically heartbreaking. I mean, the deal is that some equipment just doesn't scale down all that well. In particular, there's this little organ that vertebrates have made of 3 loops that stick out in different directions. It's inside the ear. When accelerated, fluid inside those loops slosh around and trigger little sensory hairs, which help the brain figure out how to balance and maintain posture. Turns out there's a limit to how small you can shrink this before the system breaks down.
Oh no, I gotta see this again.
Turns out
oh no, it still works, and then all of them it doesn't. Oh no, oh no.
There's a limit to how small you can shrink this before the system breaks down. So when they jump, their little bodies aren't getting information about what the hell's happening. So the best strategy seems to be stiffen up and stretch out.
And just hope for the best, right? You're just jumping with a dream and a hope that you just somewhat don't hurt yourself.
About what the hell is happening. So the best strategy seems to be stiffen up and stretch out. Staying big helps reduce the rotations. But it turns out that Brachycephalus isn't the only group of frogs that have a complicated relationship with the jump. First, let's remind ourselves what normal frog jumping looks like. This here is Bombina orientalis. A nice looking jump, and then the arms come forward to brace for impact,
like
and
really
the hind legs
graceful.
kind of follow through. The end result being that it's ready for the next jump very soon after landing. Alright, so you've seen how it's supposed to be done. Now there's a group of frogs in the genus Leiopelma that split off from other frogs about 200 million years ago. Let's take a look at their form. See if you can spot the difference. Wait for it.
Faceplant.
It's amazing.
Oh no.
Here's another one, just so you don't think it's one drunk frog. Oh, that's a tough one. All right, you probably...
Almost made it. Almost made it. It seems like it's kind of not the most helpful for them. This is kind of, I mean, it's funny. It's extremely entertaining to see, but I kind of feel bad for him.
drunk frog. Oh, that's a tough one.
Oof,
All right, you're
belly
probably
flop.
wondering what the f***'s wrong with them. So it's thought that the taking off part of jumping evolved first, as an escape mechanism into water. The landing bit evolved later when frogs became more terrestrial. These old school frogs never really got into jumping, and never evolved a way to gracefully land. But still,
Oh,
no match for our winner,
oh my gosh.
Brachycephalus. Next up, we have best animal.
It's like he's just like send it, just
Still,
send it,
no match for our
send
winner,
it.
Brachycephalus. Next up, we have best animal call,
Oh boy.
subcategory clown shoes.
Oh my gosh.
This one's the winner. It's
Oh my gosh, I love this though. These noises are pretty cute though, even if they look like they're angry, but I love this.
This one's the winner.
Yes.
It's perfect. In the category nature photographer I want to party with, it's a pygmy yeti. I joke with you. It's a pregnant meerkat. But
It's a
who
pregnant
decides to film
meerkat.
that angle? Hold on, guys. There's a shot I gotta get. And the meerkat who's on the lookout chooses to ignore the weirdo lying beneath.
Part can't see over that big belly she got right there. She has no idea. But oh my gosh, yes, what a awkward angle. But this is kind of great though.
The meerkat who's on the lookout chooses to
Oh
ignore
my
the
goodness.
weirdo lying beneath her, filming her crotch. Pygmy yeti. Hey, Tina, Lori, check. Oh, hey, Nancy. Guys, check this out. Ready? Hold on, I gotta. All right. Did you see it? What the fuck? How could you not notice that?
I feel like this is like boys brains and girls brains in a nutshell. Like literally, it's like I appreciate that guys think like the smallest things are funny because I think it's like the little things in life that are important. But literally, women will be like, "I don't give a fuck. You're stupid. Get away from me." You know what I mean?
Did you
I
see it?
love it.
What the fuck? How could you not notice that? In the category Fun Fashion on a Budget, the winners are leaf beetles in the family Chrysomelidae. Some of these baby beetles hold on to body parts that they shed in a molt. It's like wearing a coat made out of a sunburn peel.
Oh my
Others
God.
use their own feces to create a sort of defensive shield. It's like Captain America reimagined by a fetish pornographer. What?
Oh my god. Oh my gosh. So they wear their poop? Oh, okay. Okay. I mean, fair enough.
It's like wearing a coat made out of a sunburn peel. Others use their own feces to create a sort of defensive shield. It's like Captain America reimagined by a fetish pornographer. What? You want to see how it's done? Sure. This is the larva of a tortoise beetle in the process of adding excrement to those two things that sort of arch over its body, sometimes referred to as an anal fork, two words that should not be that close together. Anyway,
Oh,
these shields
an anal fork. Oh my. Okay. These are quite the names here and what this thing is doing. I've never seen this before though. It is kind of cool looking. The whole doo-doo shield thing is kind of throwing me off though.
referred to as an anal fork, two words that should not be that close together. Anyway, these shields grow over time and you have to learn how to maneuver them. It's like trying to walk down Fifth Avenue with an umbrella. This aphid's like, oh, that's a cool hat. Where'd you get? Oh, for the love of God. You're wearing And you can imagine that once this becomes a fashion trend, everyone wants in, tries to outdo each other, and it gets a bit out of hand, to be honest. Really
My
smacks
God.
against most of the current conventions in fashion.
Oh, this is something else. This is like the smaller ones look fine, but these are just this is
And to be honest, really smacks against most of the current conventions in fashion. I mean, there are some classier presentations. Hemisferata cyanea, for example, creates a fecal thatch, which looks like a pile of shoestring potatoes I'd be happy to have next to my ribeye. The larva is hidden underneath it, and it creates those long strands of feces using what is called an anal turret. And look at that, its anal fork is actually a stack of anal forks from its former bodies.
Wait, so we have anal forks and anal turrets. Oh my god, the bug world is so crazy.
And look at that, its anal fork is actually a stack of anal forks from its former bodies. But beetles in the genus Neoclimyces went all in on this strategy of looking like crap. This right here is a mummy beetle, and she's laid an egg underneath a leaf. Then she carefully encases it in a little onesie made out of her own feces. When the egg hatches, the larva emerges, but then it flips over and carries its mummy's poop house on its back. But the larva needs to grow, so it starts to add its own feces to its surroundings. How does it do that? Well, they figured that out. To see where the poop was being added, a science hippie painted that little turd hat. A few hours later, you can see where the new stuff was added. Keep doing that over and over again, and you can put a little element of surprise for the kids on Easter morning. Anyway, this goes on until they pupate inside of a ball of their own crap. And what emerges is a warty leaf beetle. And warty leaf beetles...
Why don't we just call them poop beetles? Because that's where they come from. The doo-doo beetle.
Their own crap. And what emerges is a warty leaf beetle. And warty leaf beetles have evolved to mimic caterpillar poop. Here, can you tell which one's the beetle? You can't, because they hide their arms and legs like little transformers. Except they don't transform into cars, they transform into Here, you can see the little antennae peeking out. I know what you're thinking.
God, imagine cosplaying as a pile of dung. I guess maybe it helps them not get eaten. I don't know. I would say that if you are not a doo-doo eater of the sorts in this animal chain, I would say you look pretty unappetizing.
There must be a lot of caterpillar poo if things evolve to look like it. Well, unlike the beetles, the caterpillars want nothing to do with their excrement. This right here is a skipper caterpillar, and it's just about to poop. Ready? It's like a magic trick. I mean, that clown would get arrested, but still. For years, it was assumed that the poop was sort of flicked by something called an anal comb. It turns out this structure is more of a latch, allowing blood pressure to build up behind it and to form an anal plate. Enough pressure and the latch trips, and the whole thing sort of pops off like a tiddlywink. And they figured some of this out by painting spots on the butt of a caterpillar, and then seeing how the paint was transferred to the poop pellet. It's what happens when your parents don't let you go to art school. Sharpshooters in the family Psychedelidae have a similar thing going, except with urine. They eat plant juice, which is essentially 95% water, and that means they have...
I'm not trying to hate on insects at all, but dear God, they are just... Wow. This is... Oh my goodness. There's a lot of, I mean, I guess in human terms, like bodily fluids and things that are just we're just letting it fly everywhere. This is insane.
They eat plant juice, which is essentially 95% water, and that means they have to pee a lot, like 300 times their body weight. And you want to put some distance between you and that puddle. So they have something called an anal stylus, which has some hard parts to it and some springy parts. They squeeze out a little droplet onto that stylus, and then the stylus springy parts load up like a spring. And then pop, the whole thing goes off. The cool thing is that the water droplet moves faster than the stylus flicked. And that's because the sharpshooter takes advantage of the fact that water droplets can act like little rubber balls. If you
They just sit around and just pee constantly because of their diet. Never gonna look at little water droplets the same now. Yep. Traumatized by that now. Now I'm gonna think it's bug pee.
Advantage of the fact that water droplets can act like little rubber balls. If you accelerate them just right, the droplet will have time to compress and expand, exerting an additional force on the pushing surface. And this allows the droplet to fly faster than the flicker flicked, which is great because it gets the pee far away, and it also requires less energy from the sharpshooter compared to peeing in a stream. Not in a stream, like in the form of a stream.
Pee bubbles.
Like we do it, unless you do it different. No judgment. Finally, in the category of most creative home security system, the winner is this Asiatic honeybee, Apis serrata. These bees have a
Ooh.
problem. Their hives often get attacked by groups of these giant hornets, so they decided to do something about it. Here's one of those bees out on a big pile of animal feces. I know what you're saying, so what? Everyone's got their thing, but this bee is collecting that feces. Here, you can see one with a little nugget tucked between its mouth parts. It's not
How
just that
cute.
one either, they're all doing it. And so what happens is they bring it back to the entrance of their hive and do a little plastering job. Lo and behold, if you smear a bunch of shit around your doorway, you get fewer visitors. It's brilliant.
Hey, you know what? They're using their little bee minds, you know? I don't, I mean, that this is actually good thinking. I mean, I would you go somewhere that had poop smeared everywhere? I surely would not. I'd be like, no, I'm good. I'm good. I'm just gonna keep walking.
Lo and behold, if you smear a bunch of shit around your doorway, you get fewer visitors. It's brilliant. I'm sure they laughed at the first bee that came up with it. Benny, what you doing there? Sorry, I can't understand you, Benny. Your mouth is full. All right, I'll leave you to it. Okay, Benny? Weirdo.
I love this video. This was great. I was not expecting it to be so many bugs and learned so many things about the the ass end of a bug, but it was really good though. I haven't seen a lot of these either, so this is all new. This was pretty cool though. I like these award episodes. I'm gonna have to watch another one because these are great. I like sometimes seeing like a list of things because then I kind of get to see a lot of different things that I haven't seen before. So that is kind of nice. But great video, loved it. Awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate you guys being here. Be sure to go and like and subscribe to Z Frank. He does such an amazing job. I love his humor. Awesome videos as always. But that's going to do it for me. I hope you guys have a great day and I will see you in the next one.